What's up, guys? It's John. This is going to be a recap of our live stream last night. It was a really good time, and hopefully you guys enjoy these snippets that I pulled from the live streams. Make sure that if you do enjoy any of the content here, that you guys check out the links in the description if you want to participate in these live streams and have a say in what my future videos are. Thank you guys, and enjoy the show. What's up, man? You guys are fast. Hope everyone is having a wonderful Saturday evening. I was thinking of just loosening up on this stream and just hanging out with you guys. You guys tell me what you want to see, I will deliver. Did you guys want this to be more of a format where we just kind of like pick random stocks and then just kind of like talk about them? Or do you want it to just be more laid back, no like real technical analysis, just kind of like our thoughts on the stock without really like diving too deep? I mean, the markets are closed, so looking at charts isn't going to do any good for us for the most part. Nano in a year? Nano by next year, man? It's anyone's guess, because it's really going to be based on, I mean, we already heard from the CEO, it's either going to be based on, for the most part, it is going to be based on the balance sheet. So if they're burning through cash, it's just going to lower their valuation. It also depends, where they spend the money too. Because if they spend the cash, it's not like it's just burning also. They'll end up with some possible intellectual property on the other side. So that's how you could look at it analytically. What that how that's manifested in price is really anyone's guess. But at cash value, it's going to be, the pretty much cash on the balance sheet plus divided by shares outstanding, and then you kind of figure out your own valuation for the business. Chris N, would you rather fight one horse-sized duck or 100 duck-sized horses? Please explain why and use past experiences to justify. All right, one horse-sized duck. So that's like a giant beak, two like huge paddles, right? Just slap the shit out of me with one of those paddles. But if you have 100 duck-sized horses, a lot of galloping, and like a bunch of like perfect white, pearly white teeth, snapping at you. So I have to choose between those two outcomes. I think I'm gonna have to go with the duck-sized horses. The duck-sized horses are gonna be a lot easier to deal with as opposed to one giant ass duck. Expecting news for Nano Dimension right now. They haven't really, like, besides James. I don't know if you guys have heard of James, but James is like their what does it stand for? I don't even remember anymore, but it has something to do with, pretty much all it is it's gonna like allow everyone in this engineering space to like collaborate ideas. I think that's the latest news from Nano Dimension. Desktop metals in Nano Dimension. I mean, I have not looked too deep into desktop metals. Between that and Nano Dimension, as far as I know from desktop metals, they're more of just like a 3D printing of specialized generic plastic type deals. I mean, I'm sure they have a bunch of materials, but they're not doing electronics. Man, the thing is, I'm pretty much talking out of my ass here if I say anything else about desktop metals. This is just from rough, off the top of my head, at least from pictures. That's pretty much all they do is just like print different 3D printed products, specialized, right? But man, I couldn't tell you. But the main difference is Nano Dimension is in its own sector. Nano Dimension has its own proprietary 3D printing materials to create printed circuit boards. No, not the horse-sized duck. I don't think you want to fight a horse-sized duck. The longer it goes sideways, the more glorious these moves are going to be in terms of stock price. Stone's gained 20 pounds since the pandemic. I hear you, man. It was that was one of my biggest fears during the pandemic. I actually did gain some weight. I gained weight and then I lost some weight. The heaviest I ever got was 224, and I got down to around 200, and then right now I'm sitting at like 210. So yeah, who thinks Nano Dimension is going to go to the moon in the next 3 years? Like, what crazy things can they accomplish in 3 years? Jetted additively manufactured electronic sources. Okay, Jeffs, thank you for correcting me on that. You absolutely lose money whenever you close negative positions. Hey guys, I'm gonna change the text color so it shows up better on the stream. It'll just look better, so it might reset here. It should be pearly white now. There you go. No, I was weight training. When I lost weights, I was intermittent fasting, and I was weight training. Yeah, Yoav did mention another acquisition, possibly, but likely to happen next year, unlikely to happen at the end of this year. If you guys saw the last video I posted, maybe 2 or 3 videos ago, I covered his most recent interview with Red Chip. So if you guys missed that, you guys can just hop back onto my channel and you guys can look at that video and then come back here because I'll probably still be here. King of Clown said, I bought Nano Dimension in the $3 area-ish because of John and sold it at $7 to get into other plays. Man, everybody was making money last year, dude. Everybody. Richard Allen, how are you doing, man? You could say we're still bullish because we're pretty much, you know, double what we started when we even started talking about this company. It did a lot of people well, at least the people who were able to time it in and out. But regardless, if you're, you know, holding a bag in paper terms, I mean, people still are doing well. How tall am I? I am 5'11", 6 foot with shoes. I like to say 5'11 and a half, maybe 6. I mean, gravity's working against me, right? So I should only get shorter. I'm holding my position right now in Nano Dimension. I've been buying a lot of Bitcoin aside from Nano. I've been kind of using the premiums to speculate within my stock portfolio. You know, selling calls against my Nano Dimension stock and selling puts using the margin that Robinhood is giving me. And for the most part, any of those premiums that I can really keep afterwards, I've just been pitching into Bitcoin and accumulating that. Something about Nano Dimension, by the way, off the top of my head, that is going to be exciting is the pretty much the results from the International Space Station mission that they got going with Lockheed Martin on the International Space Station. I mean, damn, like that's going to be really nice to hear about, because that's pretty much just going to legitimize Nano Dimension like a whole lot, because space exploration is also going to be booming in the next decade. Ton of rockets are going to be going into space, ton of satellites, all kinds of things. So that's another huge thing for Nano, in case you guys didn't know. Dang, Sycamore style, man, I need a soundboard on here with like the air horn. Do 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 do. All right, happy 40th birthday to Sycamore style. They consider that the hill, right? Nah, it doesn't have to be, man. Just take care of your heart and you should be okay. Happy birthday to you, man. Hodl for 5 to 10 years. Nano Dimension, who here is actually willing to hold Nano Dimension for 5 to 10 years? Like, one thing is to talk about long-term investing, but then another thing is to actually do what you say you want to do. Like that's the real discipline, is sticking to your decisions and with conviction too. No one's going to do that for you. Number 2 right now. No cap. It's right here. Altcoins that I'm bullish on. Wait, hold on. I can't leave too many comments. All right, guys. If you absolutely don't want me to miss your comments, there is an option to use highlighted comments. If Nano Dimension crashes below its book value right now, people are probably going to be buying it. I mean, remember, there are people, institutions with, tens of millions of shares in Nano Dimension who bought them above what it is at market right now. So if anything, they would be interested in lowering their cost basis. That seems logical to me. Nano Dimension might spike to $10 and then fall back down again. The valuations are going to be out of whack on this stock just because I wouldn't say they're not pre-revenue at all by any means, but they're not bringing in tons of revenue. But if the technology catches on, it is something that can permeate through literally the entire world. So if you can get it close to cash value, then, I would take advantage of that. This is not financial advice. My first bulk purchase of Bitcoin was around like 20,000, and then I was buying it at 50,000, and I think the highest I ever bought it was around 55,000 per Bitcoin. So, close to 50,000 now in price. I'm still paper green right now. Unrealized. Not realized. I have not sold anything. Nano Dimension is going to take at least 2 years before they have anything that's like so juicy that like all this big money wants to come in and like scoop up the remaining shares available. If we're just trying to beat inflation, and I'm talking about asset inflation, I'm not talking about CPI, I'm talking about like asset inflation. So like, real estate, commodities, anything that's, you know, tangible businesses, you got to beat at least like 12 to 15%. So if you can beat 12 to 15% over 3 years, I mean, I think it would be somewhere around like 40 to 45%. I don't think it's exact 15 times 3, but something like that, maybe a little higher. Anyways, if you expect Nano Dimension to double within that time, you're still ahead of that curve. It's just in the general markets, the movement's probably going to be steady up and to the right with some dips and some rallies. Nano Dimension's probably going to be like this for a while and then go sideways, and then like on year 3 it's just going to have this mega cycle and then just and it's going to fly away from everyone who is ignoring it or doubting it just because of its stock price. You know, one thing you got to look at is stock price, but then the other thing you got to look at is what is it that you're buying. You know what I'm saying? Like if you're buying something and you don't know what you're buying, then you'll be disappointed because it's probably not going to behave how you want it to. It's got a mind of its own, guys. Nano Dimension has no sales team. They got to have someone who's selling these machines to the people that they have sold them to. Albeit a very small sales team, it's still a sales team. Off the top of my head, I think they're trying to have over 400 employees by the end of next year. So Q4 2022, they're hoping to have another like 200 people, 300 people in the companies. ARK Invest, you guys want to look at their new position? You know, I'm not even asking. I'm just going to pull it up. It's in their ARKQ and ARKW fund. Yeah, David, I'll get there in a sec. Chat, do you guys want me to start looking at charts, or are you cool with like kind of just the like conversational like dialogue type content here with the stream, just immediately getting to your messages? Because if I start looking at charts, getting to your messages will be a lot harder. Isn't the Buffett indicator like what is that, GDP divided by market cap? See, okay, I don't have a degree in macroeconomics, but at least as far as I know, there's a lot of money in the system, a lot of debt, and as far as I remember, if they decide to pay the debt instead of raise the debt and just keep it going, they're going to be sucking money out of the economy. Like the debt dissolves, so that pulls money away from the economy, which contracts things, which is bad. It's deflationary. I don't think it's too relevant right now, just because the likelihood of that happening is just not very high. Is Nano Dimension sales still 811,000? Yeah, quarterly. Yeah, that's about what it is. Jeff, search for knowledge. He says that sometimes you got to take a look at all the big institutions that hold Nano Dimension. That always gives me faith. Yeah. You still got to do your own research, you know, but it is definitely nice to see these huge companies with, you know, holdings similar to ours. Sonia said less. Dang, I already forgot what I said. Less what, Sonia? Can I talk on Fabrica? I don't know too much about Fabrica. Nano Fabrica, besides, you know, if I was the CEO of Nano Dimension, why would I buy this company? If I looked at over 140 companies, why would I pick this one company? They probably didn't have the tech, so I think that's probably a good thing. So their acquisition was carefully picked. That's what I have to say about it. Tesla at a $48 cost basis. This is, people talk about Tesla like on a post-split basis now, right? I have made probably, you know, several days worth of content on Nano Dimension, at least in terms of like fundamentals. Just go on my channel and just just type Nano Dimension and then John Paul Investing. You should find every single video I've ever made on Nano Dimension. Saturday Night Live. Yes, sir. What's up, CJ? If you have too much cash, that's bad. If you're sitting on too much cash, I don't think that's wise. But if you're like overexposed on leverage, that's also unwise. But if you're like pretty invested right now and you have like a bit of cash, I think you're pretty safe. Especially if you got some, you know, good income. I think it's smart to you know, be invested right now. And I wouldn't be fearful of the market. If anything, Warren Buffett's been buying more into equities right now. So I mean, if he's doing it, it's for a reason. I mean, I think at their last shareholder meeting, they said something about inflation running rampant too. So, at least not directly, but kind of like in a sense, that's what they said. If you enjoyed that, make sure you guys smash that like button. And while you're down there, go ahead and check out all the links in the description and see how you can also be a part of this community. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.